The Mets come home and play the Athletics. Then they will play the Marlins. Tim, is this a get right week for the Mets? What do you think?
It's a they better get right week. This is you've got these two teams in last place, and then you go as you see the schedule there. You get the Orioles, who've got just about as good a record as anyone in baseball. You've got 4 games in San Diego against the Padres team that's been the hottest team in baseball in the second half. You follow that up with 3 against Arizona before you get to the White Sox. So the following week and a half after this is really difficult. So I think this is the kind of week where you have most major league players will tell you, like, just win every series and you're good. You might have to be a little bit greedy against teams like Oakland and Miami.
Dani, what would the Mets record need to be this series to be considered a success?
You guys are always making me do math here. I don't know. I don't know the math on this. They need to play 500 or better, though. I'll tell you this. First of all, do not underestimate the Oakland Athletics. They're one of the best slugging teams in all of baseball. Their pitching has gotten better over the last month or so. Their starting pitchers in particular, their bullpen took a hit when they lost Mason Miller. Thank you. I appreciate that graphic coming up. I'd like them to win 4 of the next 6. That would be really good. I think that would send them in a positive direction, go 4-2 in those 6 games. Do not underestimate Oakland, though. I'm telling you right now, I think the key here for the Mets is to play it moment by moment, out by out, not look ahead to what you have coming up, because the Padres and the Diamondbacks are playing some of their very best baseball over the last month. The Padres could overtake the Dodgers in the National League West. Like, don't get that twisted. And obviously, as you mentioned, Chelsea, the Orioles are a really good ball team, one of the best in all of baseball. They just hit 70 wins. So it's just got to be inning by inning for the Mets, and just to be able to capitalize on these sub 500 teams. That's how you get into the postseason.
Yeah, this is a big week for them coming up. Like you both mentioned, the Mets are only a half game behind the Braves for the 3rd wildcard spot. Tim, I think I know the answer to your question already, but has your faith wavered since seeing the Mets struggles in the past week?
No, I mean, I think, as Dani's mentioned, the Mets are kind of where we thought they might be entering the season, entering the All-Star break. I think the big change has been what Arizona and San Diego have done since the All-Star break. If you had told me back, a month ago that one of those teams was going to go on a run, I said, sure. To see both of them now in the position they're in, challenging LA in the NL West, to see Atlanta be the team that's fallen off, that's shaken up the race a little bit, where, I don't think any Mets fan who's been around for more than 2 years is confident in a one-on-one race for a playoff spot with the Atlanta Braves, given their history. But that's how it's kind of shaping up at this point.
Yeah, Dani, you already mentioned how well the Padres are playing, and the Diamondbacks as well, who currently lead the NL wildcard. How do the Mets compare to those 2 teams?
I think that the Padres and the Diamondbacks are better teams right now because they're surging. They're playing some of their very best baseball at this moment. We saw the Mets doing that going into the All-Star break, so we know they're capable of it. And it bears repeating, let's circle it in red pen, put a star by it, that they came into their West Coast series half a game back in the wild card race. They're still half a game back. So while I don't think that they're better than the Padres or the Diamondbacks right in this moment, we do know over the last month, the Mets have had one of the best pitching staffs. That's starting and relief corps. The offense is what's been shaky, but we know what they're capable of. So I feel confident, and I do think that they could go toe-to-toe. I think this is the moment, guys, to take over that 3rd wild card spot, take over where Atlanta is in the wild card standings. Again, not better than the Padres and Diamondbacks at this exact moment, but they have been earlier this year. So they've got to shake the cobwebs off and get this sorted out this week.
Dani, I don't know how a Mets fan can hear you saying that and not be fired up right now. That was amazing. I feel like that was such valuable perspective. That's necessary though, especially coming off of the weekend that they had, but I think you're right on.
I like to look at the numbers, Chelsea. I'm a bit statistical sometimes. I don't want to be a shock jock all the time, but let's be realistic here. They're already out kicking the coverage and outperforming where I thought that they would be. I had them as a 500 team not making the postseason. They've played better. They've proved me wrong. And Carlos Mendoza's done a hell of a job managing this team.